Hello my friends, and welcome back. In today's video, we are going to be working on Komorebi, the tiling window manager for Windows, written in the Rust programming language. This is the third video in our egui miniseries. In this miniseries, we will be using egui and iframe to create a GUI for Komorebi. If you are interested at all in UI development in Rust, and particularly if you are interested in immediate mode UIs, you are in the right place, my friends. So why don't we do a little progress check? We can cargo run the Komorebi egui binary that we've been working on. And I believe, so we got to the point in the last video where we learned how to do collapsible sections that are, they're expandable, but they start off collapsed. We learned how to do these toggleable buttons with on-off states, and we learned how to play with sliders and update the values as we move the sliders. The other thing here is the style. So we also learned how to use this kind of radio button approach to selecting an enum variant. So here we have the active window border style enum represented in the UI, and you can only pick one of these variants, right? And so that works like a radio button, essentially. Very, very cool. I think today we'll take a look at monitor-specific state. In Komorebi, each monitor manages its own collection of workspaces, and there are certain configuration options that live inside of the workspace object, I guess. So each workspace has its own layout. Each workspace has its own workspace padding around the outside. It also has its own container padding inside between the windows. So I think, why don't we make a start on this? If I remember correctly, we are now bringing in the window manager state. So our state has a ring of monitors. We can get the elements. Why don't we just get one and see what that looks like? Well, we can we go to pub struct monitor easily to have a look? Here. So on the monitor we have all of our workspaces, and we have a couple of things that I think it's worth allowing the user to play with. First and foremost, this work area offset. I suppose it would be useful to give the user some feedback on the size of the monitor as well. And then, of course, the workspaces. So, but why don't we start with the work area size and the monitor size. So we are going to update our state struct, which is Komorebi egui, and we'll have monitors, which is going to be a vec of monitor config, just to keep it simple. So we'll do struct monitor config, and here we'll have the size represented by rect and the work area offset, also represented by a rect. And we can do an impl monitor config from, is that right? From Komorebi client. Is it impl for impl? Wait, what am I doing? So I want to implement monitor config. I want to create a monitor config from a Komorebi client monitor. So impl from Komorebi client monitor for monitor config. There we go. My brain just needed a moment there. So we will create this. The size will come from the value. And I believe that's copyable. And we will do worker area offset unwrap or default, which should just give us and not an empty rect, but I mean, yeah, I guess an empty rect. Are we using monitor anywhere? You know what, why don't I get bacon up and running for this? We might as well get some immediate feedback. 46. Great. And now that we have that, we can have let moot monitors equals vec, and then for m in state dot monitors dot elements, we can do monitors dot push monitor config from m, and then we can bring our monitors struct here. So it's saying that this is not implemented for ref monitor, so why don't we just update this here. There we go. So we have that state coming in now. Excellent. And gosh, we have so much stuff, don't we? Let's collapse some of this. So I think we want a new collapsing section. UI collapsing monitor. Actually, no. We want for monitor in self.monitors. For each one, we want a collapsing section. And this is going to be... Let's do iter... iter enumerate so that we can get the index. Monitor index, and this can be monitor idx, and why don't we give the size here as well, monitor I think it'll be something like this. Monitor right, monitor size bottom. I think, don't hold me to that. I think it's right. We will see. Great. So instead of using a semicolon, what are you talking about, Willis? and collapsing response. Like this? Ah, okay. That makes sense. So inside of this, we want the UI collapsing. We want the work area offset. And the work area offset is a rect. And I think we want to give sliders for, top, left, right, and bottom. And we did use sliders somewhere, I think in the borders. So why don't we yoink the slider code. Slider code is now being yoinked. I think that's probably what the Y stands for in Vim. Yoink. Actually, no, it stands for yank, but I think that yoink is equally apropos. So I guess for this one we want between 0 and like 500. I don't know. So I want the slider to have a label, I think. Egui slider label. So it looks like it can have a text. So slider new text. We'll say it's left. And this will be monitor. Oh no, it's not on self anymore, right? Moot monitor work area offset left, which is not yet mutable, but we need to do iter moot to make it mutable. And wait, does this needs to be F64? Or does it? Can I just do like this? Oh, I can. Awesome. Great. And so here we're gonna send work area monitor work area offset, yeah. And we're gonna send here the monitor index, because you can see it takes a usize, which is the monitor index, and then the rect object. And here, you know what, let's just pass through the whole object. And we can copy paste this 3 more times. 1, 2, 3. So this will be left, followed by top here, followed by right, followed by bottom. Just want to make sure that Left, top, right button. Yeah, that's the same order. The expected order, let's say. So let's see how this looks. Let's run that. Cool, we have our two monitors. This one is an iPad where OBS is running. And this is our main. And you can see here, it's a little flashy, but it is letting me... Oh my god. It's kind of slow. I think we need something other than changed. Because I think changed is a bit much. So let's ditch that. So not on changed, but I think lost focus. So like once the mouse comes up. What else is there actually? Drag. Ooh, drag stopped maybe. Triple clicked, no. Let's try lost focus. Because I have seen references to this in the docs, I believe. Ah. I messed up something. Oh, what did I do? What did I do there? There. Okay. Here we go. So, work area offset. No, it's not. It's not doing the thing. It's not doing the thing. Very sad. Rust egui slider on unclick. Looks like drag release for lost focus. Drag. Ooh, drag released is actually deprecated. Drag stopped. Okay. Let's try drag stopped. Alright, third time lucky. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so generally the way this works is if you offset 100 to the left, you need to do 100 times 2, so 200 to the right for it to have that equal spacing again. And similarly, if you are trying to add an offset to the top for Z-bar, for example, when you add 50 to the top, an offset of 50 to the top, you'll generally want to have either 50 at the bottom as well. So this is how it looks if you want it to be, I think, I'm not explaining this well. Just trying to think how to explain it. hopefully you've already kind of inferred what I am trying to explain. So you don't want to do 50 times 2 here, because it's going to be even on both the top and the bottom, right? Just like the left and the right is here, because you have 100 and 200. When you have a bar, when you only want to make space for a bar at the top, then you can offset the bottom by that same amount to have the bottom offset remain as it was before. So this is like a 1-to-1 kind of ratio that we want here. Yeah. Damn, that's nice. This is another one that's been quite difficult to explain. People don't understand why it has to be erect, but it feels like everything is erect basically in Windows land. So yeah, if you want to do offsets, and another thing that is pretty cool, so if we have like let's say we do 200 to the left and we do 200 to the right, so actually maybe we should do more than that. Let's say, damn, maybe I should also make the top limit here a bit bigger than 500. But if you do this, where you leave a certain amount of space on the left or the right, and it's not equal, you can use one of these areas for, like, I don't know, rain meter widgets, other widgets, things you just want to drag around. Like if you have like a sticky notes app, or just something that you want visible on the desktop, like as part of your wallpaper, something like that. Anyway, the possibilities are there. I would love to see what you all do with your work area offsets. I am relatively boring, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't rice as much as you all. I'm not an experienced ricer. You can tell that summer is close when your camera keeps overheating. Alright, so now that I have the camera back, why don't we see, before we go, if we can do something with the layouts, because these buttons have been hanging around here for a while, and we can finally start bringing in the workspaces and putting these under each workspace. So okay, so for monitor and monitors, then to go further than that, we need a workspace config as well. So let's do struct workspace config, and for now let's just have the layout gonna be a default layout, and yeah, I think that's good enough for now. So we're gonna do the same thing, more or less. We're gonna implement from workspace for workspace config, and we are going to return a layout. So value layout. This is an enum, so we got to do match value dot layout default layout. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? I hope it's a thing. Default layout not found. That's interesting. So let's do match value.layout. Oh, layout default, layout custom. Oh, okay. So we have a default layout. Let layout equals layout. We will dereference and copy that layout. Otherwise, we have a custom layout. We're just gonna default to BSP. All right, let's see. We'll do it like that. So we have the layout. And now we need to update our monitor config, because now we need workspaces. So we'll have a vec of workspace config, and we will do something like this. So let workspaces, let moot workspaces equals vec, and then for workspace in value.workspaces, we will do workspaces push workspace config from workspace. So we have everything in the format we expect. And now that we have those layouts, we can do something like this. So I'm just going to yoink that. And in our monitor collapsing block, so underneath the monitor after work area offset, we're gonna do another UI.collapsing. We're gonna call this one layout. Oh, I already had. All right, let's just paste what we have and rename. And so instead of active window border style here, we're gonna have default layout. BSP, columns, rows, vertical stack. You know what? Yeah. Columns, rows, vertical stack, horizontal stack, ultra wide vertical stack, and grid. Cool. Now we just need to point this to, you know what, I missed a beat. I missed a beat because the layout does not belong to the monitor. The layout actually belongs to the workspace. So we need to do for workspace index, workspace in monitor dot workspaces dot iter moot dot enumerate. We need to probably give that a name. And a collapsing div. Workspace. You know what, let's just give it the name. I don't think I brought that through yet. But that's okay. We'll bring that through in a moment. And so under each each one of these, need to add a format around this as well. Okay, so the layout lives under each one of those, and here we'll be comparing it against layout. And we will update workspace layout on clicked, and we will send workspace layout, which takes a monitor index, a workspace index, and a default layout. Ooh. And before we can try this out, we do need to add workspace name, because as we can see, that is not being recognized. So let's say string, and here let name equals workspace, or rather value dot name to owned unwrap, or let me pull in a crate for Rust random word crate. We'll just give it a random word, why not? Now let's see, how does this work? Grab this. MIT licensed. Great. Cool. Random word gen English. Unwrap or else. That should do the trick. So if we have a name for the workspace, we'll use that, otherwise we'll just use a random word. Now, let's take a look. Oh, we have that IPC problem again where it can't initially fetch the state. Alright, let's restart. /ABC stop, /ABC start. That happened in the last episode as well. Gotta get to the bottom of that. Alright, so we have our workspaces. So let's see. Yes, I have ultra wide vertical stack there. I have columns on chat. I have. So there's a bit of an edge case here. We need a non-layout, because this is a floating workspace. And it is... So when there is a none, because this enum in the config is represented as an option... Huh. I'll have to think about how to represent that. But I think I want to nest all of these under workspaces. So why don't we do that before we start to wrap up? So here we are. Layout. So, okay. Here is what we're going to wrap. UI.collapsing workspaces UI move all of that up. You know, okay, I think we can do one more thing. One more thing here. So we'll have tiling as a bool. I think that comes through tiling value tile dereference. I guess we'll call it tile, just to match and have some consistency. And we can use that as a toggle value, and this is a per workspace value. So even before layout, right? UI, and then this is going to come from workspace tile, tile workspace. Actually, why don't we put tiling here? No. We'll stick with tile. I don't think we have a message for this. A workspace tiling. Alright. The external user interface does use tiling, so I will also use tiling here. And this is going to be monitor dot. No, sorry, that's going to be workspace dot tile. Alright, here we are. Let's do it. Let's do it. So we have monitor 0, workspace is personal, tiling is enabled there, tiling is disabled on my floating workspace. If I disable tiling, tiling is disabled. If I enable tiling, it should snap back into place. Excellent. That is a very high note to wrap this up on. And you know what? We can finally get rid of these two random buttons now because we have the radio style buttons here. So let's go. We started with this. This was the first code that we wrote back in episode 1 of this mini-series. So we have, we've come a long way. We have come a long way. So, I'm gonna have to figure out what is going on with the IPC because that's getting annoying. Let's try this. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Hell yeah. So, what are we gonna do when we come back? Next time on Dragon Ball Z. I guess we still have the workspace padding that we can play around with, the container padding as well. And we have the stack bar in terms of global options. But you know what? We are on the right track. We are getting there. And I am very happy and very excited about how this is all turning out. And I cannot wait for all of you to be able to use this as well. Alright, my friends, why don't we begin to wrap this on up, we are on 30 minutes. Damn, that's crazy. 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Oh my goodness. All right. I have definitely gone a bit over. I had asked people in one of the previous videos, what is the ideal video length? I had a few videos that have gone well over an hour when I've gotten really stuck into something. And people said 40 minutes is good. Unfortunately, I could not stick to that this time. Oh my god, 44% towards 50 monthly sponsors. That is insane. You know what? When we get to 50 monthly sponsors, I will do a Q&A video. How about that? When we hit 50 monthly sponsors, we're going to have the very first Q&A video on this channel. I don't know if that is exciting for you or not, but I just realized that people actually look at the face cam. So yeah, maybe it will be interesting for you. We'll see. We'll see. But 29 sponsors. My gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you to each and every one of you. Let's go through and thank you individually from right to left. Thank you, Tuo, Azine, Sidium, David, James, Pavel, EFL1P, private sponsor number 1, Mike WW, Michael, Cesar, Greg, Nia, Maxwell, Sundance. Sundance, I believe, is a new sponsor, as is Cesar. Welcome to both of you. Thank you, PJHFGGIJ, Hyro, DM1681, Darian, Kwang, Surefire, Solomon, private sponsor number 2, Kilroy, my boy, Evan, Alex, Julian, and Hisayuki. Thank you all so much. It really, really does mean a lot to me. If you too would like to become a sponsor, to become part of the peoplehood of the sponsors, which is all inclusive, you can come to this sponsor page. You can be a one-time sponsor, you can be a monthly sponsor, and honestly, even if it's just a $1 a month sponsorship, it means such a great deal to me. If, however, you are not in a position to become a sponsor, the very, very next best thing that you can do is make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. I say that because GZ Codes is now a fully monetized YouTube channel, which means that all of your interaction with this channel, watching videos, hitting like, leaving comments, watching seconds of ads before you click away, it all plays into the monetization, and it is a very simple, easy, passive way for you to financially contribute to this project without actually financially contributing to this project. So make sure you are all subscribed. That is it. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I hope you're all enjoying this mini series. There is plenty more where this came from. Alright, my friends, I hope that whatever you all do today, you have a great day. Free Palestine, and I'll see you all back here next time.